Hello and welcome back again. We're actually in our Thursday venue. Normally do most of my recording in a Tuesday venue, but this is our Thursday venue. A little bit lower roof, so you might hear some echoing, but hopefully the audio is going to come through fine. And we're going to carry on talking a little bit about Savate. And we're actually going to cover the last of the kicks we're going to look at, which is the side kick or the Chasse Lateral. So this is an interesting kick because it can essentially do the same business as all of the other kicks we've looked at. However, it takes more energy to do than all of the other kicks we've looked at. So it gives you this lovely little dilemma that if you don't know what to do, this is the kick to use, but if you only use this kick, you're going to knacker yourself out really quickly. So we're going to have a look at what the kick is, and then we're going to try and break it down and look at how you can use it to achieve different effects, and hopefully that will all make sense. So in terms of actually doing the kick, sorry if I can get Ian here to square off against me. The idea of this kick is I want to bring my leg up. As with any kick, the chambering is really important. So what I want to do is I want to bring my back foot in just a little bit and then raise the knee up. But on this time, rather than pointing it at my opponent, as if I was going to do a front kick or something, I'm actually going to pull it right the way back to my opposite hip. So my knee has come right back to my hip. Once I've done there, I'm going to kick out sideways into my opponent. Yeah? So rather than it being kind of everything forward or coming through and pointing the knee where I want to hit, this time I'm actually going to point it right away and then slam the foot forward. So from here, straight up and in. You alright again? So that's the side kick or the Chasse Lateral. Now we can use it in multiple different ways. So we look to start with the avant chasse frontal, so this kind of just quick toe punt. I can use this in the same way. If I just want to get quick, boom, into my opponent, boom, as I'm closing, just get a quick kick in there, or if he's coming down to close me in, I can get that kick in there. So I can use it just as a quick stop or a quick getting in kind of kick. If I want to use it more like the verso chasse frontal we looked at, where we're coming from that back leg, and I'm not going to land that one through my opponent. I can do the same kind of thing with the side kick, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to need a bit more of a run up. So what I'm going to do is bring the back leg, rather than just bringing it in a bit, I'm actually going to cross it over. So that way I can cross it over and get that extra power of that step into it. So from here, I can really throw out quite a powerful kick. Okay, so that's the first thing. We then looked at the fouetti. So normally that we're looking at stepping off and taking the knee, or potentially stepping up and coming up for the stomach. Any of those kind of kicks, I can use this in the same way. And what I mean by that, if I step off, and rather than going for the Chasse Lateral med into the stomach, I can use the Chasse Lateral bass, the low line version, to kick into the shin. So from here, into the knee, that way, or even up into the side of my opponent, if he was a bit shorter or my legs were a bit more flexible. So I can use it in terms of that way as well. And last week we looked at the coup de pied blanc, and I can do the same thing here with that little hop that we normally use for the front kick. I can deliver this quite happily into the shin. Boom. Yeah? Or into the kneecap, straight on. Any of those are going to make your life very unpleasant. I don't even need to move forward with it. If my opponent's coming at me, I can do that little hop in place and still get that kick out to stop my opponent approaching. So as I said, I can do it and use it in a variety of different ways that cover all of the other kicks we've looked at. But each time, rather than raising my knee here, raising my knee here, things that are relatively easy, I've got to pull it all the way across and then counterbalance, leaning, and then pull everything back again after the kick. It takes a lot more core strength and a lot more energy to do, so it's not one you want to use all the time. But if you don't know what to do, this is your default, because you can adapt it as you go to do just about anything. So that brings us to the end of actually looking at the individual techniques. So that's the last of the kicks that we're really looking at. So what I want to do next week, just to round everything off, is I want to have a little bit of a look at footwork and a little bit of chaining kicks together, just to finish off this kind of introductory look into that. So hopefully I will see you then, and yeah, catch you next week.